Meet Wallace Epperson. Wallace was just like any other random person you'd see every day. He worked as a lumberjack before the apocalypse and through that obtained fast healing. He was a single father who only saw his daughter Jenny every other weekend, and when the world fell, she wasn't there. Wallace searches every day in hopes of maybe one day finding his daughter. Will he be able to locate his little angel, or will he die trying to reach this unobtainable goal? But before we get into this story, thanks to you all, I am officially a YouTube partner. If you want to become a channel member, you now have the option to do so. I'm not going to promote it much, but I just thought I would let you all know. Anyway, with all of that out of the way, let's get right into the story of Wallace Epperson. When I spawned into my cruel new world, I turned off the TV and closed the curtains as to not attract any zombies. I checked out the food situation and took a look outside. Nice, we have a wall surrounding the outside of the compound. Returning back inside, I went into the bathroom where I found a sheet to hang up, but we would still need more. Then I made my way upstairs where I found a reading room with some books to start reading to improve our XP multiplier. The next room over, my daughter Jenny's room, I would find a blue electric base to use as a weapon for the meantime. In the hallway closet, I found a pair of military boots that I put on. I ventured outside to my shed, but the door along with the window were both locked. Not wanting to break the window, I'd wait until I had the tools to break down the door. After making my way into the street, I noticed a zombie in the yard, so I went over where I saw a decent looking truck. In the back, there was a gas can, which is a great early find, along with a screwdriver. While searching the inside, a zombie almost trapped me in. The key wasn't in the truck, so I checked the zombies and they didn't have it either. So I went inside and looted where I filled myself up on food, beverages, then grabbed a hammer and returned home, where I was able to disassemble the shed door. There was a couple things in there, but I would leave it for now. My short-term memory would quickly forget about all this stuff. When I returned back to the house, I continued searching and got a pipe wrench and medical supplies. I noticed another nice car down the street, but there was a herd of undead right beside it. Then I noticed one of them had a rifle on its back, so I went ahead and lured them over. The leather jacket, the Spaz 15 shotgun, the Desert Eagle, and a bulletproof vest, we're now kitted up. Oddly enough, when I got back to the base, there was a couple roamers in our front yard I had to clear out. Then I paused at the items I had looted, did a little housekeeping, and returned out into the wasteland to check out the car. It was absolutely perfect, but after looking all around and checking all the bodies, there was no key to be found. I searched the inside, getting food, curtains, and then this. Still no car key, but I'll take this one anyway. By this time we were encumbered, so I departed back home to find another zombie that made its way over. Thankfully, this zombie pointed out a fanny pack I had missed with a pistol inside. I then chilled out watching some Life and Living and went around adding sheets to the windows. And for the rest of the night, I sorted out the items we've accumulated so far. Finally, before bed, I started reading Electrician Volume 1 so we can earn more XP from disassembling watches. I woke up day 2 and heated up the pasta I found in a house the day prior. Following Life and Living, I ventured outside to return to the house we were searching. A saxophone I could use as a weapon, more curtains, and then boom, a hiking bag. I think this is the best bag in the game, don't take my word for that though. Maybe someone in the comments can comment down below to make sure. Anyway, I put the sax and the sheets into the nice 22 pounds of storage. The last this house had to offer was a couple bottles of vitamins and stuff to help level up our skills. When I got back home, I continued to secure the base by placing in the sheets. Then I got stuck on this one and got annoyed, so I just placed it on the outside. Finally, all the windows were curtained up. I checked out my map and I was lucky enough to find a full one of Maldra. I marked off the house we searched, then returned outside, almost biting off more than I could chew. Upon noticing another nice car, I walked over and it was also locked. I grabbed a good amount of food, then killed a zombie hiding behind a door with another random key, now up to 3. After taking a minute to gather my thoughts, I continued back to looting. Going upstairs to get more literature to read, After killing another zombie and searching the final rooms, there was no key in the house, so I left the car for now. I leveled up my carpentry while watching Life and Living, and then looked for a place to put the fox we found. I wanted to put it somewhere where I could see it often, but not next to my guns. I decided to put it into the bathroom, so anytime I was injured, I'd be able to see it. I read a magazine, which was the start of our new finished books corner, trademark pending. After indulging in some salmon for lunch, I marked off another house we searched and went back out to the next one. While fighting some zombies, 2 others snuck up behind me, almost biting me. The front door, along with 2 other windows, were locked, so I went into the shed out back, where I found a hammer, a screwdriver, and another gas can. Finally, I found a way in, and I didn't really find anything special inside, so I returned home, where I read a couple magazines I found and placed them in the finished books corner, and then continued reading Electrician Volume 1 while watching TV before heading to sleep. The next day started off like usual. I checked my map to see where I wanted to start looting next. Noticing a medical building up the street, I decided to start clearing out that way. I went ahead and finished up the electronics books while we were home, and when I went back outside, a herd had migrated over. Grabbing the pipe wrench for when my guitar would break, I went outside to face them. Eventually, my guitar did end up breaking, so I switched over to the wrench and continued to clear out the zombies. After making my way into the first house, I saw 2 pots of soup on the stove that I would take home. Before that though, I also grabbed medical items and found headgear that would protect us a little bit. I returned home just in time for Life and Living. After watching that and clearing out my inventory, I returned out into the apocalypse and went to clear another house. The front door was locked, and after trying to open a window, an alarm sounded. I quickly ran home, but I could still hear the screeches from the house across the fence. The alarm finally stopped, and while waiting for things to cool down, I dismantled some watches and drank some milk. After that, I figured we had waited long enough, so I ventured back out. A decent sized group now laid claim to the front yard. They would have to be taken care of. Even more swarmed the backyard. Finally, with the zombies now gone, I searched the house and caught Life and Living before heading home, where I updated my map. Only 2 houses between us and the medical building. But for now, I was tired, so I made ham for dinner, then caught some sleep. And while I'm sleeping, if you're enjoying the video so far, consider leaving a like. It's quick to do and helps me know you all want more. Thank you all so much for the support on the previous Project Zomboid videos. We are now on our way to 1,000 subscribers. And without further ado, let's get back into the video. Day 4 started off with some reading. This magazine will teach us how to make bus tuning upgrades. Next, I watched TV before setting out to start my day, heading back towards the clinic. The next house on our list had a locked car in the driveway, but the mechanics were pretty nice. I broke into the house to begin looting, where I came away with a ton of food, but not much else. Following a quick depot back at home, I started to loot the next house, where in a closet we luckily found a saw so we can start getting planks, along with another pipe wrench. After sneakily making my way through the rest of the house, I watched some Life and Living and ate a little lunch. I then looked at the car in the driveway, and again, no key inside or anywhere nearby. Since we were already close, I went over to take a peek at the medical center, where I noticed a decent amount of zombies. Upon clearing out some of them around the outside, I went inside, where I opened the door and about 10 zombies were all in the same room. I was able to swiftly close the door behind me, so I went around back to try and lure a couple out. After doing that, the room looked clear, so I stupidly hopped through the window as 2 zombies made their way back in. I dashed to the exit, but another was there. Thinking on my feet, something I'm not very good at, I ran into the bathroom with no windows. Before opening the door, I ate some chips, hyped myself up, and then figured Now was a good time. I bravely swung the door open, pushed 2 dead guys on the floor, and killed them all. Now alone inside, I went around grabbing the vast amounts of medical items before heading upstairs, where I found 2 helmets, one I would put on and the other I'd take with me, leaving the boxing helmet here. Once I got home, it was time for TV and I went around the house doing some touch-ups, until it was time for bed. Upon awakening, I figured I'd start disassembling the furniture around my base to get planks. Around this time is when I forgot about the nails in the shed, so I wasn't able to board up many windows. I decided to take our tools to the neighbor's house to take apart more furniture. Now, we just needed nails. I heard a zombie knocking at the window behind my house. When I went around to take a peek, it dodged my swipe and took a bite at me. Good, just a scratch. I bandaged myself up and went inside to disinfect it and watch TV, when another zombie was knocking around back, this time busting out a window. I went ahead and boarded it up so nothing would fall in. After updating my map, I went out to another neighbor's house to continue leveling up my carpentry and getting more nails. And then another neighbor's. Hopefully they won't return to their house and see all their furniture is now gone. It was starting to get late, so I returned home to board up some more of the windows. Once I was out of nails, it was time to eat dinner and then go to sleep. And as I was about to go to sleep, I checked my bandage and the scratch was thankfully gone. On the morning of July 14th, I decided, while looking at my map, since there was only one house in the area left, I would go ahead and search that. It was being moved out of, so there wasn't much inside. But upon finding a duck in the upstairs bathroom, it reminded me of my sweet daughter Jenny, so I went ahead and took it with me. After exiting the house, there was a group nearby I dispatched of before noticing a convenience store. I checked out the 2 wrecked cars in the road. One was locked and the other was empty. Next, I went over to the parked cars, finding a gas can, but still no keys. The store was also locked, so I busted my way in and found a load of food for us. With my inventory now full, I ran home to deposit everything before returning back to finish the haul. I made my way into the storage closet only to find even more cans and sacks of food. Once I was finally finished bringing everything over, I ate a corn dog and read some Mechanics Volume 1 until it was finished, and then went to sleep. The next day started with a little rain. I made a fruit salad for breakfast and then went outside to start my day. I brought the gas can with me this time, taking it to the Jeep I remembered that had a little fuel inside. The first house I got to had some guitars in the closet I took for some future weapons. I grabbed all the food from the kitchen and killed a zombie hiding in the bedroom. And after fighting some reading material, I made my way home to unpack all the gear. Once I did, I sat down to read Electronics Magazine 4 and Lane's Auto Manual. Then I decided to add them to the finished books corner. I found these jars in a house, but I'm a little confused on what to do with them. So if you know, comment down below to help me out. At noon, it was time for some life and living, and after that, I went back out into the wasteland to search the house next to the previous one we had searched. There wasn't much inside, so I returned home sorta empty-handed. I ate a burrito for dinner and read up on Metalworking 1 for the rest of the night. When I woke up the next day, I finished the book while watching TV, so I added it to the pile. And then I had officially survived a week. With 107 kills, I think Wallace Epperson's story from going from a random person before the apocalypse to a survivor is going to be a fun one. If you're interested in seeing more, leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. If you have any suggestions or tips, comment them down below. I'm still new to the game, so every tip helps. Anyway, my name is SS Samurai 7. Thank you all so much for the continued support. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all guys in the next one. Peace out.